Hello, SpeedGaming! Welcome to Game 2 of Gammachuu versus Bread-kun in the Hybrid Major Glitches semi-finals. This is the lower bracket finals match, which means that they are playing for the right to race Skelly in the best of 5 with an advantage to Skelly in the finals. So far, Gammachuu has the lead in the series with one game won last night. But at the time, it was a very back and forth race, which we actually thought Bread was ahead for a while, but turns out that go mode item they needed was in a bad enough location that it just sort of came down to who got there first. So this could be anybody's game. Oh, we have a map check. Bread-kun showing us that green pendants on Eastern, and sync happening at the right time to give us a little extra time to look at that.
Was that ether on the island there?
You know, I didn't catch it.
I'm sure we'll find out.
Okay, it was ether. When it comes to medallions on Floating Island, or Hylia Island, you can usually leave them and get them when you need them. There's only one medallion that's needed in most games of HMG. If it's Bombos, you're a little more likely to need it because of Ice Palace. I think people would pick up Bombos, but probably leave behind the other two. Both of them finding the lamp in Sahasrala's closet as well. It's nice to have a lamp for Old Man Rescue. It's not something HMG players are used to having.
Or just a rando in general. A nice rod, by the way.
Yeah, yesterday's race was a fire on hunt. Bread-kun choosing to get the ether medallion. If a sword turns up early enough, the ether could actually be useful for offense. It can make some places faster, like the mini Moldorm cave. I think ether is probably the best way to deal with it if you can.
I would definitely agree with that.
I also like using ether for Stalfos room in GT.
That is a popular option, yes.
Oh, a green pendant. Or, sorry, green bottle. Not a green pendant. In no logic, you could turn a green bottle into a green pendant with some creative use of the green bottle, but that's not what we're doing in this odd-numbered year, 2025. We're restricted to out-of-bounds glitches in the underworld and overworld. We're not allowed to do transition corruptions. What was that? The lumberjack?
I think it was a piece of art, but
I'm
not
not so
sure.
too. I saw red out of the corner of my eye, and it was either a piece of heart or a moon pearl, and very different things. But heart piece is more likely. I think usually when something required is on lumberjack, the runners will pause a little bit and sort of make sure that they're seeing what they think they're seeing. Oh, this dead rock is making it difficult. I think it was a heart piece, but we'll see when Bread-kun looks at it.
You know, it might have been the moon pearl. I didn't get a full view of it, I don't think.
There was those colors.
I didn't want to get everyone's hopes up if I was wrong, so I did not say moon pearl, but that would definitely be amusing for the race.
We also might find out if a moon pearl is found somewhere else. There is only one of them. Bread-kun doing the same thing he did yesterday, which is to rush Kakariko Village, not even check the woods, which will deprive him of a bottle, and that makes the Kakariko play devoid of one check that he could have gotten. He did not get lucky this time and get a bottle in the well, but he at least had bombs, which is better than last night. He had no bombs.
Yeah, and over 700 rupees, less than 4 minutes.
Yeah, I guess all the money is here, because Gamma doesn't have it. Gamma will get 225 rupees from the Houlihan room. Both of them getting simultaneous green rupees There are only 2 of those in the game. That's kind of funny. Cute little high five from them from across locations. I guess we're not doing Houlihan. I guess we're just going to go to Kakariko and get the money that's there. I think Gamma did this last night too. He just did Graveyard Ledge into Kakariko instead of doing the Houlihan play. This will pay off because the money won't be needed. People are saying it was a Moon Pearl in Lumberjack. I will take their word for it. I thought it looked like a Moon Pearl, but I wasn't actually watching that screen when it happened.
I kind of thought that it was, but I didn't really get a good look, and I didn't want to get everyone's hopes up, but that's definitely funny. It is a Moon Pearl.
Yeah, it's... You know, I think it's usually worth getting, but there are pendant and crystal layouts where being able to skip Aga Tower is going to save time over having a Moon Pearl. But it depends a lot on the... like, whether you're in Go mode or not. Because if you're not in Go mode, then there are some checks that you're just not going to do without a Pearl, and not having those done can be a big problem. Like, you're probably not going to Hookshot Cave. If it's keeping you out of doing density locations that might put you in Go mode, then you might want to get your Pearl early on and not put it off for too long.
Yeah, skipping the Moon Pearl is pretty rare in HMG from what I remember.
Yeah, it's rare often because by the time you are in a position where it would make sense to, you know where it is because you've checked most of the light world. But this is a weird case where you already know where it is and you know it will be slow to get. So you have a little more time to, if you want to skip the Pearl early, you can start routing in Dark World checks with like fake flutes and stuff and maybe get into Go mode by being in the Dark World more than you would have been if you were just looking for a Pearl. If that makes any sense. I don't...
Yeah,
I don't think Gammachuu will do that. I think he's...
No, definitely not.
Yeah, he's not that style of player.
Well, not only that, but, I mean, Gammachuu, the very fast runner overall, but we've seen that he is not the most successful with the, one-frame glitches like mirror wraps and fake flutes. It usually takes him a few tries.
I think Bread-kun could go for it. He would first have to find out that it's there. He hasn't looked yet. Eventually he'll go up the mountain, and yesterday that was the path he took. After doing all this Kakariko stuff, he did go up the mountain via Lumberjack. Another thing about that Moon Pearl is it's not available until they get a sword. And it's not in logic until they get... Well, I was going to say another sword and cape, but Gamma has a cape, so that's part of the puzzle. But the sword is hard required.
I thought the entry was not restricted. I know they need a sword for the curtain, but...
It's not hard required to enter, but I think the logic doesn't include the clip that skips the barrier. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I remember, like, in the early days that it was not in logic to do that. Which I think it should be, but I'm not married to it. Oh, there's a sword. I just
assumed there was. Oh, yeah, nice sword on the...
Yeah, it's a clip that probably should be in logic. I don't know if it's because it wasn't known or because somebody who made the overworld glitches logic just decided they didn't want to have Aga seeds and like, oh, let's just not. Let's just put this behind 2 swords at the cave so we have fewer Aga seeds.
Nice swim clip from Bread-kun, that was fast.
Last night Gamma didn't do Hobo for a while. And if it's a sword, then maybe he doesn't get that sword for a while. But if that sword is the only sword available, then he will have to get it for the pearl, or have to start skipping the pearl.
I think Gamma will eventually check that location. I know that he doesn't like to, though.
It's a little different in glitches. But if he's not doing it with Ice Rod Cave, it is a little bit more out of the way.
Oh, look at this. Finishing the dungeon. What do you think about this?
It's a crystal. It's Ice Rod. Why not?
And
Is it
the
an
green
item?
potion.
The thing I'm not certain about is, did we see Gamma get Cape 45 yet in Nagina?
Yes.
Okay, so that's good. So he's doing this last because he cannot exit the dungeon once he's completed it.
I actually maybe.
You think he didn't?
Sorry, I'm actually not sure.
I don't remember him doing it. And if he skipped them, then he's not going to be able to get back to them. I think a good time to do Aga is when you've done the big light world densities and you're doing the escape. Or just when you're ready for the dark world, but I think maybe doing it with the escape is a good idea. It's a good way to get the escape done.
That's a nice fight.
I mean, it would be a miracle if there's a glove on Landmo, but there isn't. There could be.
Another interesting thing about this being an Aga seed is that the portal actually is helpful because gloves can be very late in this mode.
It's true. It is very restrictive to your Dark World routing to not have a glove. It's not impossible to get to the South Dark World. There are clips, but they're slow. And most of the time you're just going to avoid the area or start at the north. And it just makes the decision for you in a way that might not be beneficial to your route. Bread finds another sword. Gamma will get this sword as his first sword. And he'll have access to the Moon Pearl. I wonder if he'll just go for it, or if he'll explore more of the light world.
Aga Tower with just Fighter's Sword is kind of bad.
I think Gamma can handle it. I mean, it's not...
Oh, of course. I mean, it's slow.
It's just slow. There's a lot of enemies that will just be like 8/. There's going to be the 8/ gold guards. And those, the red alert guards are just going to be a bunch of spins, I think. I don't think any of them are vulnerable to Ice Rod.
See if we get a reaction from Bread if he checks the lumberjack.
Or if we all just get a... I just want a sanity check. I want to see the Moon Pearl myself. It'll be really funny if they just reveal that it's a heart piece the whole time, and we all deluded each other into thinking it was a pearl. Alright, here we go. Yeah, that's a pearl. And Brett had a little reaction. Just making sure, right, that bottom is round and not pointy. Alright, what's our spice level on that pearl? I would say it's lower than last night's. Because it's just sitting there and... You know, yeah, it's Aghanim, but... I'll give it two spices, 2 peppers. Last night's pearl was behind a sword in Super Bunny Cave and a book in Village of Outcasts, so it gets 3 peppers, but this one just gets 2. On the Scoville.
Yeah, I don't think this one is that hot of a location, it's just funny for the viewer.
I think the thing that makes it spicy is if the player chooses to skip it. It definitely invites that. Bread is able to climb Hera again, that's nice.
A seed like this, where we don't have many progression items, I would say maybe isn't inviting that skip unless they happen to find I don't know. It just seems like we need way too much for Go mode to think about that. But
I mean, they've only found the things that let them get the Moon Pearl. It is looking like all the progression's just going to be in Dark World, so there's no reason to put it off. If they had, you know, Cane and Bow and Fire Rod and stuff, then sure, I could see justifying, you know, walk to Skull Woods, walk to Turtle Rock, do those dungeons. But they just don't have any thing to do here. Bread's doing Hera.
We could get Mushroom.
This is kind of Bread's last good option. I mean, even the Dark World doesn't have that much in it. This isn't correct, Gamma. Where are you going? I think this will just fail in a benign way. Yeah, okay. It needs to be on the third bump.
Yeah, for those that are learning, it's almost always the third bump, just to let you know.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's the fifth bump from the top if it's one of those really, like, long slopes, which is probably what Gamma was thinking. But, usually you're either on the third bump or on the fifth from the top, and then on the thin slopes you can be on the second bump. Fourth bump is never the answer. That will almost always soft lock you. And then any other bump will usually just kick you out in a way that lets you retry. Alright, Gamma is definitely looking in the Dark World direction. But he hasn't done... neither of them has done Easthead Mountain yet. So there's still a chance for Bread to find enough stuff in Easthead Mountain to give him an excuse to put off getting Pearl. Oh, the flippers. Okay. Flippers don't do anything except allow Swamp to be completed. They don't even really have much logical implication besides Swamp Palace, so it's not terribly exciting, but it is, you know, it's good to have them just in case you need them. And it's nice that the Pearl is placed in a way that the flippers are not going to be skipped for too long for either runner. Unless Bread decides to, you know, skip the Pearl.
I am a little bit curious if Bread will maybe go to Palace of Darkness before doing the castle, because Gammachoo's kind of locked to doing the climb, like being in the area, I would say.
Mm-hmm. I don't... Yeah, I mean, you can. I don't think Palace of Darkness is a particularly valuable location right now, but I can see if you want to skip the Pearl, then going anywhere but the Dark World might be good. Where are we going here? Bread might just be clipping to Aga Tower. Yeah, okay. That's one way to do it. You generally want to be facing down for these clips so that you can dash without spinning your sword. Just save those frames. It's 30 frames to spin your sword that you could be saving. But you do have to learn the visual cue for facing down. I think a lot of people will face up because they learn teleports that way. Yeah, this is 8 slashes or 2 spins with the Master Sword. Oh yeah, Pod HMG Pod is just a light world dungeon. It's just one of the 4 light world dungeons. You'll often even be there before you have access to the Dark World map, or at least, you know. Obviously, you can walk into the portal anytime and check it, but that would cost time.
Oh, Gammachuu going to the back of Escape. This is an interesting play.
It's, yeah, I think it's a good play. It's in logic to go all the way through. And I think Gamma wants to...
Oh, never mind. We're just going to Dark Cross. We're not... Oh,
I'm not
just
sure why he's
the
setting up the Death Warp here when he could just do it in the rat room.
Snakes do more damage than the rats, I believe, would be the reason.
Oh, that was a snake. Oh, you're right. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Oh, a key dash. Let's go. He's on blue mail. Are the snakes doing quarter heart on blue mail?
Oh, I don't know. All his mails look the same. Didn't realize that.
Okay, well we're gonna bomb. Oh my god, Gamma, be careful. Goodness, you're not done yet. Okay. I'm not gonna call him out for I'm not gonna call him out for picking up that map. But yeah, you didn't need to pick up that chest. It can be very uncomfortable to leave chests behind in the escape, even when you know they're not items. But it's also a good way to flex on your commentator that you were counting. Alright, now we're kind of racing up the tower. A little concerned about Bread not having flippers, though. He just went straight to the tower and is skipping everything in the front of escape. We don't know yet that flippers are needed until the map check is done. See, Gamma's spin, slash, yeah, it's not too bad. Oh, I'm not counting. That's her, like, 8th heart. Is that a thing? I think it is, because he damaged... He took 2 hits from a rat, and then he bombed himself and didn't die. Why do you need flippers for finishing Swamp in major glitches? The final room of Swamp Palace that has the fast-flowing water cannot be skipped. We don't even really have a way to skip it in No Logic. No Logic, we have a way to, like, bypass that room completely. You know, we have a way to get to Argus, but we don't have a way to swim through that room without flippers. That's not possible. That room behaves differently from the other rooms. Oh, the bee! Oh, this is amazing. I love the use of the bee in this room in particular because it's a big super tile full of combat rooms. It's a shame it's not a good bee because it would have also been nice to have in here. Now he has to do a, like a boomless strat. He did it really well though, that was very smooth. Oh yeah, it's easy to forget that Bread kills Aga. It isn't actually Link yet until he picks up the pearl. The pearl isn't on Aga, it's on Lumberjack. So, He didn't check his map either. No. At least check it for us. Maybe he's already planning to do Pyramid Portal rather than a Death Mountain Descent because Skullwoods is garbage right now. Be nice to have a fire rod before going there. Oh, a mountain. Did we do East Death Mountain? I think we didn't.
We did not.
Or maybe we do that. I wonder what led Bread to do the pearl grab first. Without getting any other items except Graveyard Ledge.
I'll have to ask him.
I mean, I don't think it matters. I'm just curious. Oh, there's our check. Oh, flippers not required. Pod not required. Pod and Eastern being pendants means bow not required.
Interesting.
Not even a basement clip seed, just a mimic clip seed. Oh, the mirror is on East Death Mountain. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's an item that might have been nice to have for post-Aga. just to be able to check Uncle or the escape after defeating. Also, that tempered sword would have been nice. See, there are things you could find here. So, also a hover seed. Maybe I will get to see my dream of Moldorm bounce. Finally.
We've had Moldorm bounce in the tournament. It just wasn't.
Yeah, Gamma did it, but I think it was not restreamed, or I wasn't home or something, or I was also in a race. I don't remember. I missed it though.
Gabriel also did a Moldorm bounce in a race.
Neat. I missed that too. Actually, I think I saw it. I'm not going to count the times. I just did it for fun. It's free now if you have the cape. Yeah, ooh, maybe we'll see Cape Moldorm bounce. That'd be cool. Yeah, the thing that cape lets you do is it lets you do the bounce at any frame of the bomb explosion instead of just the first frame. It also lets you do the bounce on RNGs where Moldorm is going to walk through you. Normally you would have to select buffer and try to frame roll Moldorm to get in position, but having the cape allows you to just not get hit.
Is that like a recent innovation? I don't remember anyone doing that before.
I think Coda Ruby posted it like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Okay. It's very recent. It's one of those things that's so simple in hindsight that you feel stupid. But it's also,
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising that you're allowed to uncape and spin your sword. Like that the timing works out that you can do that.
Speaking of cape action there, a nice kill from Gammachuu.
Anybody paying attention to Hera items? Do we have a basement item?
You know, I'm not sure. I know we got a mushroom in the big chest.
Oh, speaking of mushroom, powder in Dig Game. No, it does not beat the timer though. Oh wow, is caping there actually gonna save time? I guess it does. Was that Bombos for Meyer? Did I catch that?
I missed it. We might see it on the way back.
Maybe Tom caught it. Oh, Tom says it's ether. Okay.
Also, someone's saying there's one item left in Hera.
Good to know. That key is probably not going to get spent anyway, because Swamp's a pendant. If they have access to Meyer and they want to do Swamp, they'll probably do it from Meyer first so they can get the Meyer big key on the way and have a chance at finding the items that are in Meyer. Alright, how long before somebody save and quits to Pyramid by accident? Now that we have a mirror and an Aga defeated?
That's a good question.
No, what is that dash bread? Oh my god. Oh, that's I think Fox Lisk is turning in his bed right now. And Muffins is laughing. Oh, nice fight. Very friendly pattern for Landmo. I think they get the same Landmo pattern.
Yes, that's correct.
Will Gamma do Skullwoods? Will he do all of it or just some of it? I think in the last game he did like... I don't remember which runner did what, but I think maybe Gamma did it late. One of them did like just the front and didn't do the middle, and the other one did... I don't remember. I don't remember who did what. Oh, we're going in.
Well, this is interesting.
Brett already did Hype Cave, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he's probably not going to tunnel through Swamp Palace. But he has the opportunity to. He doesn't have a ton of incentive other than there might be items in the front. And as like insurance for later. Oh, Gamma, you don't need to pull it down that far. I do like the use of Ice Rod though.
That's a good comment. I noticed when I was watching NMG runners when I was trying to get better at that room that the best ones don't move it down very far at all. You surprisingly don't need to move it very much at all.
The more you move it beyond what you need, the harder the room is, because the mummies have more time to mess you up. So it's not just a matter of, oh, hookshot and mire, wow. It's not just a matter of saving frames, it's also actually going to help the room be easier for you. It's one of those things where inexperienced players are making the game harder for themselves without realizing it. So yeah, hookshot in Mire, that's interesting. Bread doesn't have hip flippers, so I don't think hookshot is necessarily screaming Swamp Palace, but it is maybe giving him a little bit more incentive to go there with that Mire big key and unlock the big chests of Swamp, which he wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. Can you get to Mire boss without cane and major glitches? You cannot. You can get the prize, but we require the boss if it's crystal. So if Mire was like green pendant, you could get the green pendant from another boss, but you can't. You could do that in this, but then you would still have to kill Vitreous with the cane later on.
Just to be super specific and clear, she means that you can't in this rule set for this tournament. It is possible.
Major glitches referring to the restricted major glitches-ish rule set that we use for this. Different from No Logic, where we have a different rule set that we call No EG. But yeah, I mean, there are glitches for it. It's just we're not allowed to use them in this mode.
I was gonna say the Moldorm bounce stream is also over with that hookshot.
Well, yeah. Gamma's probably not going to miss that hookshot. It's on the way to the Mire Big Key. Alright, that's item 2 for Brett. He's thinking, do I want to swamp or not? He says no. But he can do the tablet now. He's got the book and the mirror. I think hookshot probably steers him away also by giving him hookshot cave. Though he can't hover. And the thing keeping him out of hookshot cave is probably the glove. It's pretty slow to get in there from the back. Yeah, I'll tell you, nobody knows how to move on the Mire screen outside of the usual places. Oh, Bombos. That's Ice Palace, I guess. Combined with the hammer Gammachuu found in Thieves Town, and the glove that both of them are still missing. They could do ice. Thieves Hammer is a little gross because you will often wait. What are you doing? Right? I think Brett's just realizing there isn't anything else to do here. No, got a pyramid saving quit. Did he mean that? I think he didn't mean to, but also he's not against doing this pyramid check while he's here. It's like, oh, while I'm here, I might as well do this. But the pause after he saved and quit does tell me that it was unintentional.
Yep.
So that counts. Brett is the first person to unintentionally save and quit to pyramid. And Pyramid Fairy is in logic right now via the mirror. There's a mirror clip that the game can expect you to do, which means that Fire Rod can be here. It's not, but it could be. What's next for Bread? The escape. He'll find the flippers. The flippers could give him that Swamp Palace temptation, but he already chose not to unlock it from Myers, so he might not go. But he could still do it from Hera. So other than Thieves Town, Bread doesn't have a ton of options. It is, I think, funneling. The game is funneling them to get that hammer out of Thieves Town. Once they have that, they have Ganon's Tower, which is a decent amount of checks. I think once you've done that, I'm sure something in there will turn up to lead them onward. But it could also just be Ice Palace, or Swamp Palace, rather. Could be like 2 gloves and Swamp. You never know.
So we need a glove, Samaria, Fire Rod. Anything else?
A bow would be nice, but it's not required. They can mimic clip. I don't know where they are on mimic clip proficiency. I think most players in this tournament can do it, but some of them are faster than others. Why did Gamma mirror with the maiden? Alright, I'm glad you asked. I think it's faster to mirror with the maiden. The route Gamma took was a little unusual in that he had a big key and he had the small key in the hammer and no glove. So he took the route that does the kill room and then gets the big chest after. And I think then you get the maiden and mirror out. And I think that saves time.
Yeah, Structural Mike or someone timed it a while back. If you have boots and no glove, it is faster to mirror.
Well, the thing that I'm not certain about is whether it was faster for Gamma to get the big chest before or after the maiden. But it's really hard to imagine it not being faster. Because Gamma's other option was to do the kill room, walk past to the big chest, get the maiden, then backtrack to the big chest, and then walk to blind. I think getting the big chest on the way to the maiden was... it's just... my gut says it's faster.
I would definitely agree with that.
Also, my gut says Gamma probably knows that it's faster. It seems like the sort of thing he would know as a experienced random player. The Bread got the sword in Hookshot Cave, but nothing else. Let's see if with our favorite fish gives us anything. No, just 50 rupees. Yeah, Bread will definitely want to find that hammer soon. I think that's probably leading to our next progression.
The second
Saving
time
quits
quitting.
to the pyramid again. Alright. Wait. I think Bread is realizing that maybe if he's going to go to Village of Outcasts that he should just swim there. What's he doing? He doesn't know.
Oh no.
Gamma,
The
I think, failed the swim clip because he's going back here. Yeah, he must have popped out too early or been too low or something.
Well, at least both of them are wasting time. It's not one-sided.
Gamma overshot the ferry entrance. That's rare. Usually we undershoot. In fact, I had to teach myself to overshoot on purpose because it's farther than you think. I wonder if Gamma was just overcompensating. Did we see Ether Tablet?
Bread got it already.
Okay. Okay, so now Bread after much deliberation, is taking this route to the North Dark World. I do wonder if the thing he was debating was whether he should take this route to the North Dark World or if he should not go to the North Dark World at all and go somewhere else. Gamma will probably end this in... Yeah, no, he's gonna do Hype Cave. He didn't do Hammer Pegs, right?
No. Actually, sorry, I don't remember.
I don't think so, because if he did it while in Village, he would have had to swim clip to get out again. Oh, he did. Oh, he probably ended his route there. Because he didn't do Dig Game and Mire and so on. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good place to end the route. This is also a good way to get the Hobo. Nice team kill. Bread-kun will have an easy time getting out of Hammer Pegs once he has that hammer, because he has the hook shot. This will also be Bread's opportunity to check Magic Bat and Sick Kid. But he might do Magic Bat later. Because he'll be at Hammer Pegs. And then he can mirror into the bat when he's there. Where's... No, Gamma's just doing the South Dark World. He hasn't done it yet. I'll probably go into Mire as well, get the hook shot. It's hard to justify skipping it at this point. He's done all of the crystals that he can do, and only has pendant dungeons and some out-of-the-way overworld left, so Mire and like getting the 2 items in there and getting the big key are probably good ideas. Oh! He did not do these checks, okay. Just doing him with the mirror, I guess. We'll have to also hit Agina's cave and walk out again if he wants to do Well, he could do Mire and then mirror out and do Agina. He might also do Swamp. Do you think Gamma will do Swamp when he gets the hookshot, or do you think he'll leave and go to GT?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like he'll leave just because it is a pendant, and come back later if he has to.
I think that's what I would do too. GT is just too dense to skip, or to do a pendant dungeon first, even if the pendant dungeon is closer. Gamma might split the difference though and unlock Swamp while there.
Gammachoo's already been a little bit burned with the Samaria on left side GT in this tournament, so...
Oh, has he?
Maybe... I think he still won, but it slowed him down, like, significantly, not going there sooner.
I think once you have hammer and hookshot, you should just go to GT.
Well, there's that Agina, but not the Mire entry. This will be interesting to see what he decides.
Well, he might leave. Yeah, this might mean that he intends to do Mire into Swamp.
True.
If he wanted to, he could also just not do Mire and go to GT anyway and skip the hookshot. But it doesn't look like he's going to do that. I think he's missing too many items to justify skipping a partially clearable crystal dungeon that's in the area. That you will probably need to hunt for a big key for in anyway. Oh, Bread, getting... grabbing that block. Classic. It's getting stun prizes on purpose. I don't think he needs to worry about his health.
But did he do it more than once?
Yeah, he like hookshotted the heart and everything. He has so much health. It's blue mail too. Maybe he's trying to save refill. I suppose it could save time. I don't know if it's actually saving time though. So Bread is not using the mirror. Yeah, this is slower for sure. Once you're in the maiden cell and you're not going to get the big chest after and you don't have a glove, you should mirror.
And part of it is the stair transition is like more than 6.5 seconds as well.
Stairs are so slow, and also when this timing was done, it was in slow ROM when the lobby was really laggy, and now it's faster. It's even faster to do the lobby than it used to be. I don't think it's been time since then, but if it saved time before fast ROM, it's definitely saving time after. Because you're not getting a lot of lag up here, you're getting it in the front.
A hook shot for Gammachuu. Oh, as expected, that was very much not going to be missed, being in a crystal dungeon.
We just can't have fun in this game. It's not fair. I saw that dig. Ooh. Did Gamma frame rule that fire?
I don't know.
Looked like maybe it just barely missed. I don't think that's what you meant to do. Oh, I hear we're placing bombs. I'll place mine too. Alright, his powder check from Bread is new. Powder was, I forget. I think it was on Dig Game.
Yeah.
It's a slightly awkward location. It's definitely awkward for Gamma, but it doesn't matter. It's nothing.
Well, it matters if he wastes time going there later.
It's true. Yeah, it's actually really bad for him to go there with his current equipment. He doesn't have any reason to be back in the area until he's doing Smith Chain or activating the flute. Gamma. It's okay.
Oh. I mean, who expects a vanilla bombos? I mean...
It's just, yeah, it's... Oh, it was vanilla, wasn't it? It's just funny because you get the item and you had a plan. And you're like, I'm going to do the plan now. And then you realize the item locked something that was right outside of your door that you could have checked. Now it's kind of annoying to get back to Bomba's tablet. That's going to be part of Swamp Palace now.
Yeah.
That could matter if Ice Palace has the fire rod. Like, Bombas is not... It's not nothing.
And we also have parts of TR and Logic that nobody ever wants to do.
Yeah, but it's just Mimic Cave and Chain Chomps at the moment. And then, like, if the key layout is just right, it could be more, but it means that the big key is on Chain Chomps and small keys are in the right places. We saw a big key for Bread-kun.
Hey, Gammachuu doing the left side teleport, but in the wrong spot, I think.
That's correct. This is where I do it.
Oh.
You can do it on the second or the third bump. On these thin slopes, it's the same. I also think the left side teleport is... I think it's faster because it puts you near the peg. So you can get a clean dash across and then be near the peg. Instead of walking to the peg.
Yeah.
Also, some people have a preference for left side or right side, and I think that's really what should matter when you decide which side to teleport on. Oh, there's our glove.
Well,
cool, it's the Spike Cave Killer, the glove in GT. Goodbye forever. Might be a good idea to not do the climb, just so you have an excuse to do Spike Cave later. Oh, unless there's a bow. If there's a bow here, you should probably do the climb. Oh, of course. Another glove. Oh, and the bow. Cool. That's the Spike Cave Killer room. We're just never going back there unless we're looking for something in Tile Room. Then the go mode is Fire Rod and Cane, so probably not.
I just want to go on record. I don't think that many people have had that line of thought that you said, oh, I'll leave so that I can do Spike Cave later on the way. It seems a little far-fetched.
Well, it's GT Climb right now. When I said that, they didn't have a bow yet. So it was do a mimic clip. And
oh yeah, that is bad. I'm just
I don't know.
like
some people are really good at mimic clip. For me, it takes 2 minutes, so I don't do it until I have to. So I definitely would not have tried to climb without a bow if I had an excuse to do it later and get a check on the way. I don't know. It's part of my routing philosophy is to leave outs to clean up orphans.
oh, the mimic clip is definitely bad because you have to do it twice. Even if you're fast at it, it's still quite bad, I would say. I was just thinking, like, Spike Cave being the reason is, like, extremely thorough thinking. I was just surprised. I wonder if the bow is pointing them towards Pod and Eastern, possibly, or just to climb up here and get alright.
Bow and lamp is always suspicious. I would definitely be prioritizing Ice Palace because it's a crystal. And it's in logic now, but after Ice Palace, yeah, maybe start thinking about Pod and Eastern. It's hard because all 3 pendants are now in logic and doable. This could just be a ped seed. I don't think they really have any way of checking ped because they've already done. Well, okay, I say they. I don't know if both of them went to Skullwoods.
So Fire Rod on Ped would be pretty much the worst case scenario, because then there's no time to look for it, or to check Ped, rather.
Oh, that's true. If the Fire Rod appears before the cane, then they can check Ped with Skullwoods. I was thinking about their current equipment not having Fire Rod, but of course they could find the Fire Rod and then do it. Obviously, okay, the worst case scenario, just like it came up last night, the thought of Tile Room being Fire Rod is very much a concern. It would be nice if I knew GT logic well enough to know if that's true. Gamma was explaining some things to me about GT logic last night. He was able to figure out that Tile Room was key even before climbing. Because of, he says 2 keys need to be available between, I forget, but I was not looking at what the keys were, so I don't know. I know that there was one in Stalfo's room. Also, that Gamma has 2 keys now tells me that it's probably in logic for a Fire Rod to be in Tile Room.
So where do you think Bread goes after this?
I mean, it's just pick a pendant, isn't it? I can't predict. I think Pod and Eastern is probably a little better than Swamp. I would also be tempted to just make a dedicated ped trip just to possibly be able to skip the bosses of Pod, Eastern, and Swamp. The other thing that you could do with the ped check is you can do Swamp without actually changing your dungeon ID, which would be nice. Save a lot of time. Yeah, I would actually... I kind of want to check ped for those reasons. But Ice Palace first. Do the crystal you can do. They could also do flute activation smith chain. Gamma has the powder to check. He might do flute activation smith chain magic bat head check before doing any of the pendant dungeons.
With that burn at the top is definitely, reminding you that Spike Cave is never going to be checked.
Oh, Spike Cave is just so dead. Really hard to get back to. You do Spike Cave if you're feeling behind.
And actually getting the mitts before Ice Palace seems kind of rare, despite it being the logical way, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah, you get the mitts. You just don't get the mitts a lot. It also feels weird because they've been gloveless for so long that they have the mitts at all, but of course the gloves are right next to each other, and that's just how that goes. The game definitely forced them to do the dungeons in these orders. They did overworld a little bit differently, but they've mostly converged. Bread-kun does seem to have a little bit of a lead, but the lead might... I don't know if we're accounting for things like Gamma going into Skullwoods. Things that Bread might just give that time back for. I also don't know if Bread did the front of escape. I know he got the flippers. Looks like a flute activation is in order. Bread wants full health for this for some reason.
I think sometimes people just go through these motions without thinking about it while they're thinking about something else.
I agree. It's especially funny when you heal up the old man before doing something where you want a death warp or a fake flute. You're like, oh, darn it. Oh yeah, Ether's nice here. This is another room where I like to use Ether if I don't have Kane. Gamma did the thing I do, which is walk up to the top two wizards, and when you're between them, you cast Ether. That's what I did when I was brand new and didn't know the Kane strat. Okay, Bread's just activating flute and going to the mountain. Interesting. Is this gonna be a Spike Cave? Oh, maybe Swamp Palace. Swamp into ice could be a thing that you do. Maybe you don't quite want to do ice without a cane yet, so you do swamp on the way to it for a little efficiency bonus. Bread is doing his pot. It's the Hera pot method he invented.
That seems a little greedy if Samaria is the reason you're not going to Ice Palace, but that's just my opinion.
I think not going to Ice Palace is a strong word. I think Bread is going to Ice Palace, but he's using Swamp as a path to get there that's getting checks on the way. I don't know if that reasoning applies when you have a flute and mitts, though, because you can also just flute to 8 and go to Ice for free, so it's not really... I don't think it's actually saving time to be exiting Swamp in the fake Dark World.
Yeah.
I do wonder if Bread will actually do Swamp or if he's just doing these 3 checks that you do on the way out. Yeah, he's even doing this roundabout check, which normally you do when you're in Swamp, but the fact that he's doing this now tells me he might not actually intend to do any more of Swamp. I'll have to be careful if he's auto-tracking that map counts as a Swamp item on the tracker, because the game thinks it's a Hera map, because it is, so it is not counting it as a Swamp item. Or rather, it's not as a dungeon item. So far, 0 items for Bread, but he gets his key back, so if Hera Basement is required, he can still do it.
And with 3 Hera small keys is assumed to be...
You ever play No Logic and finish with 3 Desert Smalls?
Yeah, I'm sure I have. Desert is a crossroads in No Logic.
We're 0 for 3 on items in Swamp Palace. This is great. The game is not going to let you get any items here. This could be compass. Can we get the... No, okay, we get 10 bombs. Yeah, I think Bread's just gonna go to ice from here, but it's a little bit irritating that this play didn't actually lead to any items.
Have you seen this location that Gammachoo's doing?
The mushroom spot? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think the time to do it would be after activating Flute. Interesting that Gamma is doing it with the mirror. What's he doing? Is he doing catfish?
Yeah, Gammachuu is doing a lot of checks the normal way, like
Yeah,
K45 and
I guess this is
under the bridge too.
I think he didn't activate the flute, am I right? So he's just using this to pick up catfish and mushroom from the pyramid save and quit. I think the pyramid save and quit is giving them routing options that they otherwise wouldn't have.
So Bread back
did
in
he?
Swamp.
Maybe he just finished climbing GT. I'm not actually sure if he saved and quit. I was paying so much attention to Bread. I wonder if Gamma will also pay the monkey. This could be... Yeah, this looks like a pay the monkey play. Man, you don't see that very often.
Mr. Buyer is spreading days.
Mr. Buyer is a shill for Big Primate.
Well, it can't get more divergent than this. Left side swamp. And, well, one is paying the monkey.
Alright, I will give it to Gamma that not only did he get a big hop from Kiki, but he also got 1,111 rupees out of it. So, you know what? The aesthetics make it worth it. He got a very nice looking number and a nice looking hop.
Oh, never mind. We're not doing left side swamp. It was getting a key? I don't know.
Yeah, huh. Not doing left side swamp is certainly a choice because Bread has doesn't get to do the Specky clip key steal because he already took that key into Hera. That means the left side swamp is 2 items and he's either going to have to go back the slow way or just not do them at all. Yeah, I don't know if I would feel good about this swamp play, given how the items were laid out. Alright, there's a bow and pod. At least you get something out of this. Ooh, 0 cycle attempt? Oh, we lost it. It's not over yet. Okay, now it's over. But at least it's a fast 1 cycle. Nice ice rod kill. Nice mirror shield. It's worth taking note that Bread did, in fact, get the pendant. He didn't have to. He could have just killed the boss for the item in Hera State. But the pendant did a couple things for him. One is that it gave him... Oh! Hang on. I think Bread thought that swamp was a crystal. Because after doing swamp and getting the blue pendant, he checked his map. So yeah, that explains a lot, actually. Certainly explains why he didn't do the whole thing in Hera State. Also explains a little bit why he skipped left side swamp, because he's not necessarily here for items, he's here because he thinks it's a crystal. And this routing makes perfect sense if swamp is a crystal. Oops. Well, his consolation is that Gamma's probably also going to do swamp, because it's definitely getting into pick a pendant and possibly Petsy territory.
Well, it is interesting that Gammachuu intentionally picked a pendant instead of going to Ice Palace, like by contrast.
Yes, that is interesting. But I agree with you that I think it's a little greedy to be skipping Ice Palace just because you're missing Kane. You can even speed it up in HMG at a little bit of risk, but you can skip Pengator Room and save 1,000,000 years. Because it's actually really fast to get to the IPBJ room from the Ice Palace clip. Because it puts you in the bombable floor immediately. Gamma cannot do Ice Palace because he doesn't have bombos. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's important. I even mentioned it earlier. He has a flute. If he activates it, it's easy to get bombos. But
right.
Swamp Palace is looking good for him. He can exit Swamp and get bombos on the way out. I think that's what he's doing. I was a little surprised that he did Pod and not Eastern, though.
Well, in my defense, he still could go into ice. It's not required to kill the Freezor in this mode, but yeah,
Yes.
That was my mistake for forgetting. Whoops.
The logic does expect that bomb clip in the front of Ice Palace to skip the fire source, and means that every check except Cold Stare and Freezor can be accessed. Gamma will probably do left side swamp, in contrast to Bread. And Gamma's perfectly aware that this is a pendant. Question is whether he will fix his ID. I think he will. As I was mentioning with Bread, and I got interrupted by realizing he thought it was a crystal, is that another thing that getting the pendant did was allow him to warp out of the dungeon after killing the boss. And Gamma wants to do Bombo's tablet with this. He's going to need that warp out. He's also not doing Waterfall now, so he will get the Swamp Palace small key in Swamp Palace and not in Hera. I guess that's really good for Bread if Hera Basement is an item. But otherwise, it's mostly just convenient for Gammachuu to have that small key available for left side.
That's not really a case that Bread wants to count on, though. That would be really unfortunate if he's banking on that being an advantage, but you never know. It could come up.
Well, he could be realizing that because he just did a pendant for no reason, that he's behind because of that. I think he probably at least has some awareness that this game is just making you pick a pendant, so doing Swamp Palace is not something... It's not out of the question that Gamma would also be doing this.
Well, is he behind, though, is the thing. Yes, he did waste time, but he might still be ahead. Did Gammachuu find anything in
Gamma's
Pod?
in Swamp right now, and did Pod for nothing, so yes, Brett, I would say Brett is ahead. He's gonna have a crystal dungeon that Gamma doesn't have. And... what is
But he thinks
happening?
he's behind, is what you were saying.
Yeah, I'm saying that Brett might think he's behind, but I also think that if you kind of step back and look at the way the seed is going, that it's reasonable to expect Gamma to also do Swamp. Yeah, Silvers, it's a consolation prize at best. I don't think they're going to save enough time to make up for doing Pod. And if it's a Ped seed, then Gamma didn't do Helmosaur, so he would have to go back to Pod to get that. It might be that he's waiting for a Ped check to do Pod and Eastern together, and that might be why he didn't do Eastern.
Or the Gold Sword, Cold Stare. It's just so comfy.
Yeah, it is. Gold Sword, half magic. Although with Bombos, it's... doesn't matter what magic you have. Yeah, Gamma's just leading with left side, which I think is correct. When you're in the pendant dungeon and you know that there's at least one item here. I think this is faster than going back in. I'm not certain, though. It actually might not be with the free key. Gamma has the key because he found the chest key in Swamp State. But he does have the chance to find something here and not do the back at all. Okay, so Bread I think I just saw him do Pengator Room. And I was saying earlier that you can save a lot of time not doing Pengator Room on the first go. And even if it does end up being an item, it still saves time to do it last. The only way it burns you is if it's the big key, and the big key locks an item. Bread just bought a bomb upgrade. Interesting. That feels like no logic, brain. I wonder what he's planning to do with those. I wonder if he's just remembering last night's race where everybody kept running out of bombs all the time. Oh, a blue potion too. Wow. Actually, I think that's pretty normal to do. If you're doing... Is he gonna do fake food now? No, okay. This might be King's too. Yeah, if you're in potion shop already, you can buy a blue potion and maybe save some time on doing an opportunistic fake food later. I don't think he's buying that for safety. Did we do... Oh, Bread did not do back of escape, so this is a good time to pick it up. He's cleaning up. He's doing a lot of the things Gamma has already done.
Well, this is at least a faster way to do it, at least for him, anyway.
Yeah, it is. His Dark Cross, I think, remains unchecked. I still don't know if he did the front of escape, but Dark Cross is an item, and I'm pretty sure he didn't do that.
Yeah.
This might be Pod for Bread-kun. So he's climbing. I remember both runners not doing Kiki in the last race. Yeah, this is Pod. Unlike Gamma, I think Bread-kun will do Eastern with Pod. I think he has no reason not to. Will he do the pendant is a question. I don't know if it was an item or not, but Gamma didn't do it, so it probably isn't.
I honestly didn't count, but Helmasaur King is one of the slowest checks in the entire game, if it was an item, though, so...
Helmasaur is awful. Helmasaur is the main reason I would have checked Ped before doing any of this. Because you don't want to be in a situation where you're wondering if you should do Helmasaur. At least with Eastern, it's green pendant.
Okay, Gammachuu going away from the Bombos tablet, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a good point. But that's fine, because Ice Palace was not locking the Fire Rod.
True.
He doesn't need Bombos. He needs the Fire Rod, and he'll find it, because it's not in ice. It's actually really good for him that he doesn't have Bombos. He'll be temporarily behind, and he could make the decision to go into ice without Bombos and try and find the Fire Rod there, but I think he has to run out of... He has a lot of better things to do before he gets to that point. I mean,
I think this is leading him back to it, though, the purple chest.
Oh, that's true, that's true. He'll get Bombos, and then he'll do ice. It's a good way to do Bombos Tower, though. Yeah, I was saying Gamma had a little more reason to do Smith Chain than Bread, because he has this powder.
I wonder if either of them will go to TR. It's not a great play, but it still could have one of the items we need.
Yeah, TR is really scraping the bottom of the barrel.
But do you do Ped before TR? If you're Bread, probably.
Well, yeah. I think if you're on the pendant path, you should do all of them before doing one-off overworld locations. You're sort of specking into a play style, and
Oh.
yeah, Gamma's doing a mixture of the two, but he did. Yeah, he got the fire out here. What does that do? It's funny. He's gonna get the fire sources back to back. He's definitely gonna do Ice Palace next. Skullwoods might also be. Like I don't know if it's an item, but I'll probably do that too. Turtle Rock is still garbage. It's still just 2 checks. Oh yeah, the checkerboard cave. I don't think we saw this.
I don't think so.
No one's been in this area since GT. Yeah, Gamma's on the overworld path now, which... surprising that he did Pod and Swamp and not Eastern before doing the overworld path, but I think he just... I don't know. We'll have to ask him in the interview. It's hard for me to speculate on why he's choosing these. Could just be a whim. Just feel like it. Oh, he's fixing his spooky, which is a sign that he intends to not do the Ice Palace lobby clip. Oh no, it's because he wants to steal a key. That's correct. You want to steal a key here? Let's see if he does Pen Gator skip. Yeah, this is Pen Gator skip. PSA for runners. I saw both Bread and Gamma do this. The bomb hitbox is square, so going left or right of your bomb is not going to change whether you get hit by the bomb or not in that room. And you always want to be on the right side of that pit when you drop down so you aren't wasting time in Stalfo's drop room. And people will go left because it feels like they're getting away from their bomb, but they're actually not. They're just as close to their bomb going left as they are going right. I'm not convinced that Pod is more dense than Eastern. It's 5 items and Eastern is 4.
Well, Eastern is 3. Oh, 4 with green pendant. Sorry.
Oh, Bread's doing the boss. I guess this is our chance to see if he's just doing it for a pendant and on the Ped path. Ped's not dead, but it would be nice if he could get Fire Rod first so he could do Skullwoods on the way. Oh, it is an item. That's curious. So Gamma's skipping an item and playing against Ped. Definitely a divergent decision. Yeah, it does seem like Gamma's just chasing density in descending order. Or at least what he perceives to be dense. Whereas Bread is on a more targeted path of doing the pendant dungeons and pulling Ped.
That fire rod and purple chest is pretty disgusting, but it's still hard to say who has the advantage, I think. At least yet.
Yeah, it's always hard to tell who's in the lead when nobody's in go mode yet.
We're just waiting for Samari to show up so we know what's going on, but I don't know.
Yeah, like if Samaria is on Ped, then Bread's in the lead because Gamma didn't kill Helmasaur. If it's on Mothula, then Gamma's probably in the lead because he's just gonna do Mothula next.
Yeah, that would be very unfortunate for Bread if that's the case, because that's very much on path.
I also
If you
think
get the
there's a few like equalizer locations too, like Spike Cave. We just don't know who would get there first. It's really hard to predict. Yeah, Chain Jumps is another one of those equalizer locations. Yeah, if it's a Ped seed, we have an Agaped. I think Gamma... Oh yeah, who's going to show us Ped first? Spread's going to have the 3 pendants, but Gamma's going to be on Mothula. I think... Yeah, it's really close.
Yes, Gamma beat Ice. Just answering a question in chat.
Oh yeah, Bread's gonna turn in the green pendant too, so I think Gamma will get there first. Mothula fight will be super fast.
Not taking a hit to get rid of beams, I find that a little interesting. The beams are pretty annoying sometimes here.
Yeah, they are, for sure. Still not. Okay, he took the hit by accident. Beams do have a way of taking care of themselves. This fight's already off the rails, though. This fight would have been over a long time ago if he didn't have beams. Oh, it's here! It's
Oh my god.
Alright, well, that's a very solid lead for Gammon at this point. It's in go mode. Brad has to do... Brad has to do a whole bunch of stuff that Gamma's already done, and Red doesn't have any progress on Gamma anymore, now that the pendants are not required. Yeah, and up a dungeon. It's a shame that Gamma has to do so much. Wow, Bread not even giving the pedestal the dignity of a pull.
Yeah, so much for being a crowd pleaser.
It is slower, but also... if it's not Ped, you probably lost.
If you don't need it.
Yeah. Is Bread doing left side swamp? Oh, Hera basement. Okay. Sorry, by Hera basement I mean castle basement. Yeah, Dark Cross. We're actually upstairs.
And that was exceedingly unlucky for Bread that the Samaria was on path like that.
Yeah, I did call out Moth Samaria as being one of Gamma's just guaranteed win conditions. Just like Pedestal, Cane Beam, Bread-kun's guaranteed win condition. C just shook out that you could choose different paths that were equally valid, and some of them just beat the others in certain item layouts, and there's not much you can do as a player to change that outcome.
So Gammachuu left without the big key earlier. That's interesting.
That is interesting. Gamma also had the opportunity to do a clip to swamp from here and could have stolen the big key. But both runners did swamp from Hera, so they got the big key in the hair dungeon instead of the mire dungeon. It's not something you usually like go for, but when it happens, it's nice. Every once in a while, you get to skip the mire big key because you got the big key from somewhere else. This is probably Bread-kun's best chance to do... Oh, he's doing left side swamp, but maybe afterward to mirror out and do either Spike Cave or Turtle Rock. No, of course, none of those are going to lead to what he needs, but I think these are the things that make sense for him to do. Just in isolation. Pretending I don't know where the Cane and Fire Rod are, those are the things that I think Bread should do.
Well, if he felt behind before, and now he's definitely got to be feeling behind doing all those pendants. Like, Gammachuu needs to hurry up and win to end the suffering.
Yeah, it's just Turtle Rock. Get the big key and go. Do you think he'll go in for the front? I've heard a lot of mixed opinions about whether it's a good idea to hunt for the big key in the front of TR or not.
I think in this case, when you're not looking for items, it probably makes sense, because backtracking through the dark room is quite slow if it's not needed.
Yeah, but it's also possible to get a key layout that locks you out of the big key from the front, and then you have to do it anyway. Or you have to go in through the middle. It does help that Gamma's already opened it.
Yeah, Gammachuu opens the front more than anyone I think I've ever seen. And not that no one else does it, but I feel like he always opens it.
This was definitely an anti-Scudge Wood seed, though, with the cane being where it was. You never had the chance to do TR into Skullwoods. And that's a shame. Is he doing chomps first? Yeah. Interesting.
You know, this makes sense. The right room is pretty slow. Yeah.
I just didn't think of it as an option. I guess you can, though. Oh.
And it pays out, too.
Yeah, it pays out, but also I'm just laughing at the alternate universe where you came in here without the cane and found the big key, which is the one thing that lets you do more of TR in logic. Or at least without the fire rod, but that's not happening in this seed. But also it's, maybe it's good. If you went in here early because you're looking for an item and all you found was the big key, you know, that's a big key that you didn't have before, and it's a thing you would have had to get anyway, so you're actually not losing time. Oh, Gamma did it wrong. What does that mean? I think... Is that subpixel issue? I forget what fail condition that is. When you hop past the transition, or past the bridge, I think that's a subpixel problem. It means you stutter stepped on the way to the jump down. It also might mean that you didn't go up before hopping down. I forget which one it is.
Yeah, I wasn't paying close enough attention. There were so many steps in that clip.
Gamma has the mirror, though. He's just going to mirror wrap on the second try. I think he did that one because he was coming from that direction. And if you do mirror wrap with this normalized setup, then I think you can save time doing the mirrorless version. If you know how to like do it old school and like raw dog the mirror wrap, you can just do jump onto the land bridge from a clip, and he does an old school normalized setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as old school as just walking to the pixel like we used to, but it is definitely slightly older, I think. I think that setup also gets you to the middle. So if you're doing like a speed run where you want to go to the middle of TR, then knowing that setup is good.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was surprised at how many people don't do the upright, like speedrun setup.
Well, he was doing something like it. The thing he was doing was similar to that, just slightly different. Ooh, we get a 0 cycle. Let's go. Very nice. Yeah, here's Brad getting his consolation prize TR Big Key. Do you think this is faster than what Gamma did?
Not if you go left.
Pipes are so slow. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
not. Oh yeah, not if you're getting this. That's for sure. Gamma is lucky there was a key in Laser Bridge. Because he came out of Chain Chomps with no keys.
A shovel. Oh no.
Oh great. The shovel's in logic too. No.
That's so rude.
Nothing else is in logic here, Brad. Turn back. Leave. You did not find enough small keys. Well, wait a minute. This isn't logic. Yeah, this doesn't require any small keys. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it's... Now that's a small key. I can't remember if the big key chest needs to be a key also.
Well, if it might be a small consolation, Bread did not lose because of the swamp play, because Gammachuu
No.
also did swamp.
No, Brad lost because the items were on Smith Chain. Like that's really all it was. It's just who gets to Smith Chain first, and the fact that it was Smith Chain was also locking the cane. It would have been a very different race if the cane was not behind the fire rod, if it was just in a separate bad location. Gammachuu finishes
11.
another awful seed. Sorry, Gamma and Bread. This does end the tournament for Bread in bronze place. We're already at podium positions here. So Bread-kun has 3rd place in the tournament. Congratulations. Gamma has to beat Skelly to get the championship. In the best of 5 series, Skelly will have a 1-game advantage due to being the winner's bracket finalist. Which means Gamma needs to win 3 races to beat Skelly. Skelly only needs to beat Skelly. Skelly only needs to beat Gamma twice.
Skelly only needs to beat Skelly. Yeah, you're right.
Your own
GG.
worst enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just sounds like I just chose run.
Yeah,
That's all it came down to.
Yeah, it was just here's 10 bad locations to search, and if you pick the wrong ones, and sucks to suck. I do like your commitment to the pedestal. I'm a little disappointed that you didn't pull it.
I normally would, but I already felt like, oh no, I've already pumped all this time into pendants that paid out for nothing. I can't. I have to like try to spike something here.
Yeah, speaking of trying to spike something, Spike Cave would have been one of those places.
Yeah, Spike Cave was a pretty terrible, considering both gloves were in GT. It's like, when do you do that?
But, you know, it was also not the cane or fire rod. I guess you probably don't know, unless you were talking to Gamma in chat, but the fire rod was on purple chest and the cane was on moth.
Yep, Gamma told me. It's just like, yep.
Yep.
Do Smith Chain after GT, Lamau.
I really wanted to see the cane. I wanted you to find the cane and Gamma to find the fire rod and then have both of you looking for each other's items in go mode, because that would have been more exciting.
Mm-hmm. Instead
But
of fire rod just directly leading straight to Kane.
at that point, you were so fully diverged that there aren't very many locations that would have equalized you. Maybe like Spike Cave and Turtle Rock were the only ones left.
Yeah, I was hoping that Shovel and TR would have just been something just disgusting Kane logic.
TR logic was
Oh.
interesting because the big key was in Chomps and the big chest was Shovel, so that was in logic.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
But I think beyond that, you didn't have enough small keys.
Yeah.
The Crystal Roller was in logic too, because it's not locked behind any small keys. But
Yeah, because I want to say you have to get like basically 2 small keys in the middle
something
at
like
least
that.
to
I think we
like
looked at the
go
logic.
anywhere.
We looked at the logic recently. I don't remember what we concluded, but I think it was like most of the checks require 3 keys.
Hmm.
And Chomps has to be a big key for anything else to be in logic.
Yeah. Because most of the time you have to just open the front normally logically to do much in the dungeon. So generally speaking, it's
Mhm.
Samaria lock, so you usually... I mean, unless C decides to be mean and throws Samaria in the big chest, which absolutely can, but...
That's true. Well, all the chests you opened except the big key chests were valid.
Yeah.
I think it mostly matters if it's the medallion you're missing and sometimes the fire rod. But when you're missing the cane, you're locked into the middle of TR, and there's only so many things you can even get to that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I thought I had some questions for Gammachuu, mostly just what led you to make the decisions to do the dungeons you did, starting with Pod, but not continuing to Eastern, not doing Helmasaur, and then doing all of Swamp, and then doing Overworld.
So I was at that point where, okay, I think I want to follow what I got in GT, which was a bow. So I'm like, well, let's go touch these bow dungeons. Maybe it's bow locked. I don't know. Yeah, as I was going through it, I'm a little bad because I'm getting nothing. Like, I'm probably not going to touch Eastern. Maybe Bread rushes it. I don't know. I usually despise Eastern unless like I'm low on checks. In this case, I still had Swamp and Smith Chain and I guess Fireless Ice and a few like one-offs. So I
Were
did
you-
not.
Were you going to do Fireless Ice before Eastern?
Maybe, I don't know. Like I don't like to do Eastern unless like my checks are like really awful.
Well, that's interesting. Well, it definitely explains why you didn't do Eastern. You just don't like it.
Yeah.
I respect that. Sometimes you just have a personal vendetta, and that's good enough.
Did you do that early, Brad? Eastern?
No, I did it with the whole... After GT, I did the whole Pod Eastern play. Because, especially at Go -2, I'm like, this is so dense. I did Swamp before Pod Eastern.
Did you think
Wow.
Swamp was a crystal, Bread?
Yeah, because I marked things correctly, and I think at some point I somehow unmarked Skull Woods as a crystal. So I look at my track, I'm like, oh, I've got too many... I don't know. I mismarked something on my tracker after I had already had things marked correctly at some point. So I went into it thinking it was a crystal for a moment, and then I saw its pen, like, well, I'm already here. I may as well commit.
Yeah, I was a little puzzled about your decision to go to Swamp as your first like bad location, but then once you exited Swamp and you like, checked your map again, it's like, oh, I know what happened. It also
At the same
explains
time, I
why
felt
you-
bad, but not as bad considering I would have gone to Swamp anyway. During a pick your pendant,
Mhm.
Swamp is really dense. I don't feel terrible about going for it.
Yeah, I also thought that, you probably, there's only so much bad you can feel about that, knowing that, like, Gamma is probably just going to go there too because it's a pick a pendency, and that was a perfectly valid pendant to pick. And whether you picked it because you thought it was a crystal or because you chose that pendant for density, it doesn't matter. It's either there or it's not there at this point. There's not really much to talk about in this teed. The fact that we're not even talking about the fact that Moon Pearl was on Lumberjack. It's funny how just much of a non-issue that was. Just both got it, and then nothing mattered anymore except that you had Pyramid save and quits for the rest of the game.
Yeah. I kept forgetting about that when I kept saving and quitting. There is one thing though that really pushed me to pod more than Swamp. When I got the hook shot, which gave me my I got hook shot from Meyer, and I got the second item. I did not know if Swamp was actually logically Samaria locked, because there was still one small key lingering between Big Chest and Vidi, and I didn't open that last chest.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even think about checking for Samaria locking in Meyer. That is fascinating, and yeah, if I was in there, I would. I don't know if I would open that chest either, but I would be tempted to just to see.
Yeah, because that would save you a lot of time, because I got the second item in cutscene, and I'm like, well, big keys and map chest, and I would have to open big chest just to see if it's even Samaria locked or not. Like, do I really want to invest that much time just for that?
Yeah, and you still need Fire Rod. It's like Fire Rod would still be there.
So so I had that in my mind too.
You also picked up Book and then save and quit out, missing Bombo's tablet, and that was almost good for you because it was very close to being good for you because you almost didn't do Ice Palace because you missed Bombos, but Ice Palace is empty, and it was like, oh, you got lucky because you're just not going to mix. But then you find Fire Rod before Kane, and now you're doing Ice. So
the smart play would have been Mothula, but I got really greedy. I'm like, no, it's probably not there. I kind of want to do TR2 Skullwoods kind of thing, when I hit go mode. I just was being a little greedy, just for efficiency's sake.
It's interesting that you're greedy about being able to do Scudgewoods, but not greedy about being able to do Icebreaker.
Yeah, well, Icebreaker, if I had Kane, I would do it. Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't have Kane though right here until after I'd finished Ice.
You were more likely to have found Kane in Ice than find Kane in Skull.
Oh yeah, I was just going for the 3. Yeah,
that makes sense.
So. But yeah, the smart play would have actually been to Skullwoods and even look at Pet too to see if anything was there as well. Samaria.
Yeah, I wanted to know what Ped was. I was at some point you were almost racing Bread to get to Pedestal. And you were gonna check Ped after Skull, but then you found Go mode there, so it didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, if TR ends up having either between Fire Rod or Samaria, I'm just gonna get toast because I really despise going in there without either of those items.
Oh yeah, I think everybody does. That's why I waited till I had 3 or 4 checks left in the game before I went up to TR. Like, well, I might spike. I might be able to just spike it here. I guess I don't have many options.
Yeah, so
would have been a good TR to do early, just because the big key was in Chomps. At least you get the big key, but that's not always given to you. Most of the time, it's a waste of time.
I'm curious. After you did Swamp, you said you still had Pod Eastern. Did you just go straight to Pod, or what did you do after Swamp? Because that was a time
either I did Pod Eastern right afterwards, or I thought Swamp was a crystal, and then I did Ice after Swamp, and then I did Pod Eastern.
Oh, okay.
One of those orders.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was just wondering, when is a good time to do Smith Chain? Because with the 2 gloves and G2 is kind of garbage. But I'm after Swamp, I'm I feel like I got to do this now because
it's if you have Flute, so you can do it whenever. It's just getting to Smith Chain isn't the worst, but it's whenever you want to decide to do it over everything else. And I don't know.
Where was Flute? I got that. I activated Flute. Was the Smith Chain
in GT?
Oh, GT. Oh,
it was in Ice Armor.
So yeah, I guess it's was it a hookless seed then? I guess, but you're not gonna skip hook. You're looking for Meyer big key.
You're gonna trip on it.
Trip on
this
it.
game is not gonna let me see Moldorm bounce. It's just well, maybe in finals.
Unfortunately.
Have you learned the cape?
Yeah, it would even give you the. Yeah, I was gonna say you even get the cape for the freest Moldorm bounce.
Oh yeah. Have you tried that? Because it's actually quite free. Well, I say free, but
it is free. But I have trouble doing it because I have so much muscle memory using select buffers that Doing anything with the menu is like just twisting my fingers in knots. I'll have to actually sit down and practice it.
I haven't tried it, but looking at the video, I was just like, oh, okay, I see exactly how this is done. This looks like cake. No problem. Of course, being that I know how to hover, I haven't taken time to really learn Mold Arm Bounce, honestly.
Your hovers are consistent. Pretty good.
Somewhat, yeah. I have to plug in the other controller, which takes some time, but otherwise, it's good.
Oh, you switch controllers if you're gonna hover.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because my OEM controller hovers really nice because the buttons are so loosey-goosey. I don't think the pads have ever been replaced on it.
Okay.
But I use the 8-bit though primarily for glitches because it's so it's so stiff. It makes it super easy to nail a lot of one-frame tricks.
I agree. Yeah. I love the 8-bit though for glitches. Do not like it for things like hover and mimic clip.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
It's awful for mimic clip.
Awful, but the snappy buttons are really nice for boots clipping and things where you need discrete button presses.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's enough shop talk for now. This is the tournament for Bread. How does it feel to be in bronze for HMG 2025?
It feels I had a run, so I'm not exactly like I'm not sad or anything. Like I made it here, so oh well. But got to make it to almost the grand finals, but close enough.
All right, well, that'll be it for tonight. There will be no more races until Skelly and Gamma schedule, so keep an eye out for that. Hopefully be done before SpeedGaming Live, maybe? Can it happen?
Yeah, it could be possible.
Right.
I'll reach out very soon, so keep an eye out.
Let's go. If not, maybe we can convince them to do it in person. Are you both going to be there?
Oh, actually, this year I'm not gonna be able to go this year.
Oh, okay.
Sadly. Yeah, so that would have been cool though. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Probably wouldn't have been on Restream though, because all the SpeedGaming Live stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, SpeedGaming Live tournaments.
That would be fun to finagle.
Who would I have to bribe to get that on Restream at SpeedGaming Live?
Yeah.
Me messaging Rick. Like, hey,
Rick, yeah.
Can I get this?
I ask really nicely.
Yeah.
So how does this work in the finals, by the way?
If you look at the... Let me look at the rules just to make sure I'm not spreading misinformation.
Yeah, because I see there's like 2 rounds between us, because I know he's, from the upper bracket, so he has some... there's a benefit for him of being undefeated so far. Well, 2 out of 3.
I think Mamo said you have to win 3 and Skelly has to win 2.
Oh, okay. Something like that then.
Yeah, the finals.
It's
a best of 5 series, but Skelly has like a free win. So on the bracket, I've marked Skelly as having a 1 win already, and then it will be a best of 5 from there on, which means that you have to win 3 times and Skelly has to win twice.
All right, gotcha. All right, looking forward to it. I remember racing him once, one series last year or 2 years ago, and yeah, he gave me a good beating. So I'm looking forward to a rematch.
All right, thanks for watching, everyone.
Well, congratulations, Gammachuu, and GG Bread, and thank you, Other Time, for tracking. Thank you, Mount Mo, for everything.